Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I know I said I wanted to start this Facebook Live at 8 p.m. Gambian time. I know it's 7:40 p.m. Gambian time, but I just decided to come in 20 minutes earlier, just so because what I want to do first is just to go through the press release by the Ministry of Justice. I'll go through it line by line, and then I would then move on to discuss and debunk the inconsistencies in that press release. Not only that, I will show the seeming, subtle, intimidating, tactics that they're trying to employ. But of course, they're dealing with the wrong person, because I cannot be intimidated. There's nothing that I fear except God alone. My conscience is clear, and I will debunk the lies. I will debunk the seeming threat, and I will showcase the injustice that have been meted against me systematically and consistently for a number of years. So I decided to come in early so that I'll be able to tackle all these issues and get on with it. So I'll just wait to get people to tune in and join us, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah. So just give me a moment, and I'm just trying to sort something out. Okay, so if you can hear me loud and clear, just kindly let me know by way of comment. Just tell me so I know you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, then I will know that you can't hear me. But if you can hear me, can you just kindly just let me know by way of comments that you can hear me? Please, thank you. If you can hear me, just let me know by way of comment that you can hear me. Thank you. I'll be looking at the comments now. Okay. All right, fine. So let me just go to the Ministry of Justice press release. So let me give a foundation. Let me give the foundation, the background to what is happening. For those of you that have missed it, I'll just give just a rundown of exactly what has been going on. So basically, this matter has been going on since 2019. So this is the 6th year, and next year would be 7 years. 7 years that this issue started. So I want you, as I'm going to, in a chronological order, to sort of have a timeline. So this has been going on for 7. Next year would make it 7 years. 7 years it would be. So this is the 6th year. And come December, we go into January, it would be the 7th year. So basically, what I did was, initially, this matter, these allegations, frivolous allegations, happened in 2019. It happened on the 28th of June 2019, and that date coupled with the day that I graduated from the University of Oxford. Now, I graduated from Oxford on that particular day, and in that particular ceremony, I gave a speech. And of course, the speech was it made the airways. It was, you know, it was shared by all the social media online medium, and of course, there was a lot of congratulations and congratulatory messages. Now, by the time I got home, and this was late in the evening, about 7, 8 p.m. thereabout, I saw this message on social media about this girl who claimed that I had raped her. And of course, it took a sensation and a seeming dimension, had activists and everybody jumping into it. So it was more of like a campaign. They lodged, they had a hashtag, surviving Melville, and all sorts of manner of things. Of course, I was very quiet at the time. I allowed things to go on its natural course. I attempted to appear on Kerfatu and Fatu Ture invited me, where I realized as soon as I got there that, you know, there were other people with different ideas and different objectives. So I quickly excused myself from this live video and, of course, allowed things to go on. So the first thing I received was a correspondence that came from the from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which at the time I was working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but I had taken time off to come to England to study, to do my master's in international law, foreign policy and diplomacy at the University of Oxford. Now, so this thing went on and on and on. There were campaigns, there were insults, disparaging comments, all manner of things that you could ever imagine. And all of this was under the watch of the Justice Ministry, where the tenets, the foundations of our criminal architecture, our criminal law, states quite unequivocally that a person, an accused person, is presumed innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. Now, this was not what was done in my case. I had the Foreign Ministry issuing a premature press release, fueling it. That didn't stop. They opened a helpline, the Justice Ministry, and by a press release, the Minister of Justice at the time, Batambedu, claimed that the Justice Ministry had opened a helpline, you know, where people would make phone calls to make reports and all sorts of stuff. And then it was sensationalized by the media. So you had people saying there were 32 women that were accusing me. There was this, there was that. Some medium would say there were 70 women. Some would say there was 80. And then, but as time goes on and the truth began to unravel itself, that number began to dwindle. So from 70, it dwindled down to about 50. Then I saw some medium went to 32. Then it went to 24. It dropped to about, I think about 18, 17, 12, 10. And so by this time, and this was because this happened in June of 2019. So by December of 2019, I decided against advice of my lawyers at the time, against the advice of my family at the time, close people in my family. When I say family, I'm referring to my chosen few. I don't have a large family, very close knit people that I deal with. They all said to me that I cannot go back to Gambia. I can't go back to Gambia. You cannot go to Gambia. It's not safe. These people are trying to get you. You can't go to Banjul. You cannot do this. So I'm trying to build a timeline before I even get to the presser from the Ministry of Justice. But eventually, in December of 2019, I made a decision that, you know what, I'm a lawyer. Now, there are these allegations. Of course, I knew they were frivolous allegations. I knew they were total lies. And I knew they were absolute garbage. I knew there was absolute trash. But then it was their word against mine. But I also knew as a lawyer that if an investigation was opened against me, and that the justice minister, sorry, the police who were tasked with the powers of investigation, who have investigatory powers, had not spoken to me, the accused person, that file would never be closed. So I said, okay, you know what? I am going to go to Gambia. Now, two things were at play. I understand the Gambian legal system. And I knew the shortcomings of the Gambian legal system. And I understand how the justice delivery system works in the Gambia. And I knew at the time, and this was in 2019, I'm trying to bring context and I'm trying to bring a timeline. So I want you to pay attention clearly as I systematically try to paint a picture of exactly what is going on. So I knew at that time that if I go to Gambia, there were two risks that would face me, or that I would face. The one risk was that basically, I'm sorry, I just got a message. Let me just respond to this. Yeah, sorry, I was just speaking to my lawyer because I wanted him to watch this this live video. So basically, I knew what I was faced with. The first thing that I knew I was faced with was the fact that before the amendment, before this new Criminal Offences Act, the allegation of rape was not a bailable offence. So I knew that. Even though there are instances where people who have been accused of rape have been bailed by the courts. We saw one instance was the Bob Keita case, where he was bailed and the Ministry of Justice went on to appeal the bail of Bob Keita. And he was subsequently, the bail was set aside and he was subsequently taken into remand. So I knew, one, what I was against. The second thing that I also knew was that we had a system in Gambia where social media voices were so loud, and the Justice Ministry at the time was headed by Batambedu, who was a man who was known to be obsessed with social media, and he always wanted to look good in the eyes of social media. Now, he would never ever want to put himself in such a manner where it would be him pitched against activists that were all over the place, jumping from one post to another, and he wanted to show and demonstrate that he was Mr. Good Guy. And I, of course, was the scapegoat that he felt he could use through the Justice Ministry to use me as an example, as a scapegoat. So I knew these two things were an obstacle. Now, I had to make my mind up whether, one, if I believed that I was guilty of the offense, then I knew that there was no way I would go to Gambia, because I knew I was guilty, and I knew if I knew within myself that the evidence against me were overwhelming, then I would stay. But I've always known and I've always maintained my total and absolute innocence. And therefore I said, and I made the decision that I am going to go to Gambia, regardless of the advice of my loved ones, regardless of the advice of my lawyers at the time. I am going to go to Gambia. Now, let me make this very clear. I was not extradited to the Gambia. Nobody forced me to go to the Gambia. I bought my ticket. I did not fly into Senegal. I didn't fly into Dakar and went to Gambia by road. I flew into Banjul International Airport and landed in Banjul International Airport with a ticket I bought with my own hard-earned money. I want to make this very crystal clear for those people that do not know. I see a lot of people talking, writing a bunch of, well, a few, I won't say a lot, a bunch of weirdo writing similar, oh, but why didn't you go home to clear your name? But these are idiots that don't want to know the truth, or some of them are just honestly not aware or have been misinformed. So I traveled to Gambia. I landed at Banjul International Airport. My passport was stamped. I went through security, customs, picked up my baggage. I went home to my house. This was at the time when the Justice Ministry had gone to court, or the police at the time had gone to court, and they had sought a warrant, a bench warrant for my arrest. I want to paint a picture so that the average Gambian understands and know exactly what I'm dealing with and to know exactly what the facts are. And I dare the Justice Ministry, I dare Dawda Jallow, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, the incompetent Minister of Justice, the spineless Minister of Justice that has absolutely no authority whatsoever over the Justice Ministry. I dare him and I challenge him to come out with another press release and dispel the facts that I'm saying in this video, in this live video. So I traveled to the Gambia. I was not asked to return to the Gambia forcefully. I was not extradited to the Gambia. There was no forceful return. I bought my own ticket with my hard-earned money, my hard-earned sweat, and I returned to Banjul. When I returned to Banjul, I went to my home. And this was after the police had claimed that they had a warrant for my arrest and published my face and my name in front of the Standard newspaper. But I still had the guts. I had the balls, I had the temerity, I had the audacity to still go to Gambia because I believed in my innocence. Now I want you guys to go and ask Dawda Jallow. Ask Dawda Jallow that Melville is posing a question to him on Facebook Live. Bring his attention to the Facebook Live. Bring any justice official to my Facebook Live and ask them if they had the balls, if they had the guts, if they had the temerity to go or travel to a country where your face has been published in the newspapers with a warrant for your arrest. Ask them if they had that audacity to fly into that same country. And I did. I did. I flew into Gambia after a warrant of arrest had been sought and obtained against me in the courts of the Gambia. After a search warrant has been obtained, where they went into my house and stole my belongings and my properties. Stole them in broad daylight. And in fact, I know now that the police handed over, or well, they claim, they allege that they handed over those things to the Justice Ministry, whom Dawda Jallow himself, on a telephone conversation with me, which is on record, yes, he said to me that yes, the police handed over those items to the Justice Ministry. And when I challenged him to say that, but X, Y, and Z, so and so are not there, he said to me, we will look into it. So they stole my belongings, went into my house. They went there, the police went there the first time during the day, and they went the second time at 10 o'clock at night. Went under my bed and took out jewelries and things and other precious stones and other materials from me and stole it, and to this day I did not have it. Now I went to Gambia. I didn't stop at that. For those people who are asking, oh, but why don't you go and clear my name? For the idiots that are asking that question, let me correct the facts. I traveled to Gambia. I arrived in Gambia on Saturday, on a Friday night. On Sunday evening, I went on my Facebook and the post is still on my timeline. Still on my timeline. I went on my Facebook and I made a public post. I said, and I'll try to paraphrase what I wrote at the time. I said, I have arrived in the Gambia and I will be making myself available to the competent authorities that are vested with the powers of investigation. And I will be reporting to the Banjul Police Headquarters on Monday morning with my lawyers. And that's exactly what I did. So I want to show you, and I want to demonstrate, and I want to build a picture so you understand a chronological and systematic narration of exactly what transpired. I arrived in the Gambia. I was not arrested. I was not arrested on arrival. Nobody came to my house to arrest me. I woke up in the morning. I got into my shiny BMW car and drove myself to Banjul Police Headquarters. And this was after I made a public post on my Facebook to say that I will be presenting myself to the competent authorities that are vested with the powers of investigation. That is what I did. And I want you to ask Dawda Jallow if he had the balls to do what I did. Ask him if a warrant of arrest was on his name, If his face was pictured in the newspaper, ask him if he would have the balls to travel to Gambia and face the competent authorities. That is what I did because I'm a man. Not only am I a man, I'm a person who believes in my innocence. And I believe in my conscience and I believe in my integrity. And that is why I was able to do that. I was not forced. I bought my hard-earned ticket with my money. Fast forward. I got to the police. I sat with my lawyers. LS Camara is still alive. Lawyer Jan is still alive. Patrick Mendy is still alive, and lawyer Johnny Njai, they're still alive. I went to the police station, they joined me, and I was invited and taken upstairs to the police press conference room. Prior to my arrival, Batambedu had instituted a high command police investigation panel to look into the allegations. Headed by the level of a commissioner of police by the name of Ramu something Njai. So this was no joke. And remember, I was not in the Gambia when this panel was constituted or instituted. Exactly, Musa, Patrick Mendy, Patrick Calmet Mendy, they're all alive. So I'm calling their names. What did the police say to me? That all the noise was on social media. That not a single person made or called the helpline that was opened at the Ministry of Justice. Let Dawda Jallow come here by a press release again and say, Vera, it was Patrick Mendy. Peter Mendy. Peter Calmet Mendy, sorry. Peter Mendy, the lawyer, Peter Mendy. He used to work with Johnny Njai, lawyer Johnny Njai at the time. And they represented me along with LS Camara and the son of Fafambai. So basically, no one had made a call or had ever dialed the line at the Justice Ministry. And in fact, the Commissioner of Police, in the presence of these individuals that I had mentioned, said to me that they had to go on social media. Ramusambu, thank you. Ramusambu, Commissioner, not Njai, Commissioner Ramusambu. I'm glad and happy that people that are here on this live have been following this matter. I'm glad, I'm happy. So, they said to me that they had to even force people to come forward. And they showed me pictures. They opened a file and showed me pictures. And they asked me, who are these? And I said, this is my ex-wife. This is my cousin. This is my sister. I identified the pictures. And then they said to me, and Commissioner Ramunjai can deny this if she wants, but I have a team of people who have made statements to that effect, and I still have them. So I'm waiting for the day. And she said to me, 5 people. Imagine, remember at the start of this video, I said to you that social media had said 70 women. That's what they said. And then she said to me, there are 5 individuals that we got to make a complaint. I said, okay. I said, who are these 5 individuals? The first person they called, I said to them, I don't know who this person is. They said to me, you don't. I said, I don't know the person. So they said to me, in the presence of my lawyer, in the presence of Peter Mendy, in the presence of Johnny Njai, in the presence of the other lawyer, Fafambai son, I can't remember his name. I'll check my phone and I'll tell you. They made a call to this girl. When they called the girl, they said to the girl that you made a complaint here a few months ago against a gentleman, Mr. Roberts. That's what the lady said. And the person that made this call was Commissioner Ramusambu, they said. I thought it was Njai. And the girl said to them, and the girl said to them, yes. And then they said to her, well, Mr. Roberts is in town. He's in the police station. He's in the conference room. Can you come? And right there, because her phone was on speaker, the girl said, did it, the man mistake. It's a case of mistaking identity. And I'm telling you exactly what happened. And the commissioner said to her, what mistake? How can you come here and you said this and you wrote a statement and now the man is here and you said it's a mistake? You have to come now. And the girl hung up the phone on them. They called and called and called, and she hung up and never picked up their calls. And that's how they took that thing, they tore it and tossed it aside. It was left with 4 individuals. And I've posted the police report. So the fallacy, the nonsense, the rubbish that the Justice Ministry tried to paint me so that they could tarnish my image in the unsuspecting eyes of the public, but it backfired. Go on Facebook and look at the Ministry of Justice page. Go and look at the comments. I know right now they want to go and delete those comments because it's a disgrace, it is a shame that the Justice Ministry can make a presser and every single comment on that presser is condemning your actions. What a shame. An absolute shame that a Justice Minister of low IQ and caliber, you can try to fight me, try to intimidate me by a presser that the general public overwhelmingly is rejecting. That is an outright shame. It should be a disgrace. If you lay your bed on a pillow tonight, you shouldn't sleep if you've got any moral compass or got any conscience in you. So, and I'm telling you, the reason why I posted the police report is because I want, as I'm doing the Facebook Live, you can go and look at the report and authenticate what I'm saying, if it's a lie I'm saying or if I'm speaking truth. The 4th complainant, who later we all identified that they were all friends. And I have the messages which I will put on my Facebook tonight or tomorrow, where they were calling their friends to say, come, let's support each other. Let us go and make a complaint. I have it because one of the girls sent it to me at the time. She said to me, Mel, this is what they're doing. They're sending message to us to go and show solidarity with them and go and make a complaint against you. I have them on my phone. And that is why I have written to the Justice Ministry through my lawyers, some of which the letters I have produced on my Facebook for Gambians to see that I have been the one asking the Justice Ministry to take me to court and give me a day where I can defend myself. And that day, the Gambian social media space was shut down. I dare you. I dare you. I'm not your idiotic, average, incompetent witness. No, I'm not. I am not. And I dare you. I dare you. So I'll go to the 4th complainant. So eventually, the whole hullabaloo on social media that stated there were 70 women, it watered down to 4. To 4. 4 friends that sent messages amongst themselves asking each other to go and show solidarity. And not only that, one of the friends sent me pictures where all 4 of them were seen together, taking pictures and supporting each other. I have them on my phone. I have them on my phone. So those people that were saying that they were random people, it was all blatant lies. And I will show it all to you in the course of this week. So go back to the report and you would realize the 4th person, complainant, came to the police. What was his complaint? He said, I asked her to scratch my head. So, Mr. Justice Minister, in your presser, you should have told the Gambian public, you should have told the Gambian public that the number of women that you alluded to in your presser, the complaint was that I asked her to scratch my head. And the Gambian public would have understood the magnitude of your foolishness. That's what you should have done. You should have done that. You should have gone down to enumerate and put the complainant and what they said or stated. You didn't even have to call their names. So that reduced you to 3. Because as far as I'm concerned, telling somebody to scratch your head is not rape. It's very clear. And not only that, the same individual that lied to say that I said that she scratched my head because she wanted to show solidarity went on her personal Facebook page to say that she never ever said that I raped her. It is there. It is on record. And I will produce it for all to see. It is on record. So is that the witness? Is that the accused? Or is that the victim that you would take me to court and stand in a court of competent authority to defend and prosecute? What nonsense. What total rubbish. You can tell that to unsuspecting Gambian public. You can't tell me that nonsense. You can't tell me that nonsense. And you cannot tell people who are not gullible. Such fallacy. Such rubbish. It's only an incompetent justice ministry, an incompetent justice minister that would do defante with a presser to get at me because I demanded my rights. I demanded for my rights. I have solid judgments against the state, and I'm asking you to do the needful, to respect court orders. Dawda Jallow is seen going to the National Assembly, making press releases, and claiming to be a minister of justice that upholds the truth, that defends the Constitution, that will fight for the rule of law. And what are you doing? You're standing on my neck. You have your knee on my neck, persecuting me. And today, because I demand and ask for what is right, you think you can intimidate me with a stupid, idiotic, backward presser? That's what you think you can do? You have made my voice even louder. You have energized me. And you have given me more reason to speak. And I will speak louder. Until the day I die. And even where I die, I will make sure those judgments will be upheld. And it will go to my estate. It will go to my kids. In my grave, they will fight for it. Because it is rightfully mine. If you did not agree with the judgments, you should have gone to court and appealed the judgment. That is the rule of law. That is the standard expected of a justice ministry. Why didn't you in your presser? Why didn't you address the judgments I made mention of? Even if I was a murderer, even if I killed, I still have an inherent right to enjoy the judgment that has been granted to me by a court of competent jurisdiction on the law. So the presser was nonsense. It didn't address the issues I raised. The issues I raised is that I have an ECOWAS judgment against the state of Gambia. The judgment was clear. You had 3 clear months. 3 clear months to do the needful or declare me a free man. The judgment went on to award me $10,000. The judgment did not stop there. The judgment said that my rights to work have been violated by the state of Gambia. Why didn't you address that in your presser? You think you can use intimidating tactics on me? Do you know my struggle? Do you know where I came from? Do you know how I educated myself? Do you know how I got to this point? Do you know the battles I fought? No, Dawda Jallow, you do not know because you are handed a position of power. You sit in your air-conditioned office and you think you can make an injustice against me. It is a lie. I will fight it with every fiber I have. Every atom in my body, I will continue to fight and I will continue to speak and I will speak louder and clear and the Gambian public would know the truth. They would know between you and I, Dawda Jallow, who is a liar, who is a spin doctor, who is corrupt. Who? Is it me or is it you? Who is being accused of corruption? Who has a justice ministry under his watch without a proper audit report since 2020 to now? Who has a justice ministry that cannot provide a justice report of the OIC funds that was given to the justice ministry for the Rohingya case? Dawda Jallow, who has a justice ministry that took $200,000 honorarium for defending a matter that you never stood in that court of law, a matter that was delegated to Hollyhock, a law firm in Boston in America. Who amongst us is the spineless doctor? Who amongst us is the spin wizard? I am fighting for my rights. I didn't ask for anything. I asked that you do the needful. Even where you cannot abide by the court judgment, respond to the letters of my lawyers. Tell them we have seen the judgment, but we cannot at this moment abide by the law, by the judgment. We cannot fulfill the judgment. That would have given you more spine than to issue a pressure to intimidate me. You cannot intimidate me. You intimidate me with what? That I will be arrested if I arrive in the Gambia. So what? Am I the first person to be arrested? Does the Ministry of Justice have the competent authority to arrest? Can you effect arrest? The police can arrest me. So that pressure was a lie. Because you, the Justice Ministry, don't have arresting powers. You cannot arrest me. It is the police that can arrest me. You can gaslight the unsuspecting public. You can't gaslight me. You can't gaslight me. You cannot intimidate me because I do not fear. There's nothing that I fear except God and God Almighty alone. For when my time on earth is over, when God has prepared the appointed place for me, I will go. Not you, Dawda Jallow, not any other man born of man and woman can derail my destiny. And I put that to you. I put that to you. I will go back to the three people. One of them said in her statement, and the police report is before you. If you've missed it, go back on my timeline, look at the police report, join the Facebook Live. Download it. Download it and look at it. The third person said, me and her, we had sexual intercourse. Why did you? Because I was scared. Why were you scared? Because I thought if I didn't, he would take a knife and stab me. It's there. Did he force you? No. Did he do anything? No. Why did you do it? Because I thought he would stab me if I don't do it. Bullshit. Nonsense. Bullshit. Dawda Jallow, take that to court and prosecute me. Bullshit. Nonsense. And you yourself, Dawda Jallow, you're on record telling me it is nonsense. You told me, Dawda Jallow, and I'm waiting for the presser where you will deny ever telling me this. You yourself, Dawda Jallow, as Minister of Justice and Attorney General, you said to me, I did not know that was what was in the file. You said to me, I asked them to bring the file in my office and I looked at it. And I saw the inconsistencies. You said it to me and I want you to deny it. Release another presser tomorrow and deny it. Release it and deny it. I mean, Fofana, it's all mentioned in the police report. She's asking me to mention the girls. It's in the police report. Just look at my Facebook Live. You will see their names. It's all there. Now, let me continue. And Rambu Sambu, the police commissioner, other police officers that were involved, Yoroseri, who's a detective, they're all alive. They all have their social media handle. The police can now issue a press release and say, you know what, Melville is lying. I sat in that police station until 4 p.m. when the high command were closing. Not a single one of these 3 girls showed up. They called them to say Melville is in town. Melville is in town. Come to the police station. Not one of them showed up. The police eventually said to me, I can go home. I should come back the next day. I came back the next day with my lawyers and nobody showed up. They did not come. The police called them again and said, you're needed at the police station. They never showed up. It went like that for 1 week. They never showed up. Let the justice minister come out and say Melville is lying. Show the police diary where they came when I was present. My lawyers are all alive. None of them are dead. Not one of those girls showed up when I was at the police station. The second week, ditto. Not one single day. And I was in Gambia for 2 months. I left Gambia on the 7th of March, 2020. January, February, March. Not one single day whilst I was in the Gambia, when I went to the police station, did those girls come to the police station to face me. And today you sit there and write a presser, a backward presser, telling lies to the Gambian public. I am known for speaking the truth, but Dawda Jallow, what are you known for? What is the Justice Ministry known for? What is your brand? What is your brand? I am charging you, the Justice Minister, the Attorney General. What is your brand? What do Gambians know you for? Telling tales, telling lies, trying to spin, trying to manipulate the law to serve your selfish interests. That's what you're known for. That is not what I am known for. I speak the truth to power. I speak the truth regardless of which designation it is. I speak the truth regardless of who it is. Friend or foe, that is what I'm known for. That is the brand I have created. What is your brand? What is your brand? What is your brand? I was born in Banjul. I grew up in Banjul. I am not a man to be intimidated. You're full of hate. That's what it is. Because I called you out to say, do the right thing, do the needful. That is what I said. How did your presser, how did it address a judgment of the High Court? How did it address an order of the High Court? But today, the comments on your presser, if I were you, I would put in my resignation letter because it is a monumental disgrace where the Gambians are challenging you and asking you to respect the rule of law, to respect court orders, to dispense justice without fear or favor. It shouldn't be Mel. It shouldn't be anyone else. You should be able to respect justice. You should be the face of justice in the Gambia. Delivery of justice for you should be blind. Sorry, let me just put this fan on. It should be blind. It should be blind. You are on record as one of the worst Attorney General and Minister of Justice that Gambia has ever had. In fact, I prefer a Batambedu who will make his position known, even though evil, even though bad, even though the position would not be popular, than a person who acts like a smooth talker, who acts like a diplomat, but your heart is far from what your words are saying. You think the presser can damage me? No, it cannot. Because you have not said anything that is new. You have not said anything that is new. I worked at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I did not steal. I was never accused of stealing. I was never accused of manipulating the books. I was never accused of that. I was never accused of being incompetent. I was never accused of manning a position that I was not able to deliver. No, I delivered, and I delivered to the best of my ability. I delivered in that speeches, talking points for the president. No matter where I was in the country, or in the world rather, they would write to me from the office of the Secretary General so that I can put these down. To show my competence in what I did. To show my competence in what I did. What are you known for? What is your competence yardstick that you set up? You can attack me all you want, but it would not stop me because I would speak even louder. Even louder. Go to the Ministry of Justice page and look at the comments. Go and look at the comments, Dawda Jallow, and it will tell you. It is a reflection of the people's perspective of who you are and the Justice Ministry by extension. Go and look at it. You expected it to be in your favor. You expected to paint a bleak picture of who I am. But the masses are the more wiser. They refuse to subscribe to that notion. And today, see how many people, thousands, are watching me speak. Thousands are watching me dispel, watching me expose the lies and the inconsistencies in a presser that came from an entire justice ministry. I am one man. I am one man. I am not idle. You think I have time? Why can't you try me in absentia, like you said? Dawda Jallow, in June, you reached out to me to extend condolences when my mother died. Did you not? Dawda Jallow, can you come out and dispel what I said? Can you come out and say what I said is a lie? Dawda Jallow, have you not sent me messages asking me to take a position where I would make the Gambian public understand the position of the Ministry of Justice when the Bob Keita issue was going on? Did you not? When you wanted to launch an inquest, when Dawda Fadera died, did you not ask me to write and educate the Gambian public so that they understand the process? Did you not? Since when did you realize and understand that you had a thick file waiting in your office for me to arrive in Gambia for you to arrest me? Since when? Did you not ask me to instruct counsel to go to the Ministry of Justice to negotiate the payments, to negotiate how you guys would look at upholding the court judgments that has been made against me? I have you on record, Dawda Jallow. I believe in confidentiality, but Dawda Jallow, I am challenging you. If you are a man, if you are a true Muslim, if you are a worshipper of the Almighty God, come out. You have your private Facebook. Write one sentence and say Melville Roberts is lying. Write it and say Mel is lying. How many times have you said to me, Mel, I'm going to the National Assembly. I have given instructions for them to sort out this matter. How many times have you not said that to me as Justice Minister and Attorney General? How many times have you not said that to me? Come out. I challenge you. Come out and say Mel is lying. Come out and say I'm lying. And we will show the Gambian public between you and I who is the liar. You think I'm scared of you because of a position, a public position that you hold, being paid by taxpayers' money? I don't give a damn about that. I don't give a damn about that. I respected you. as a person. I respected you as an individual. I don't give a damn about the position you hold. It is money. It is a position that is manned by the hard-struggling, hard-earned Gambian taxpayers' money. That's what it is. And I can tell you something. You wish for me to go to jail like you said? Dawda Jallow, I have not stolen. I have not robbed. I did not falsify figures. You will go to prison before I go to prison. I'll tell you this for sure. Do you know who I am? Do you know the blessings that follow me? Do you know the blessings that I'm cloaked with? You will see the inside of a prison before I do. And I will never rise up from my knees. I will never rise up from my knees until you know that you have suppressed the child of a true worshipper of the living God. I'm telling you this today. You can go to all your marabouts. Go to all the powers that be. I can assure you I don't have marabouts. I don't have nothing, but I have God Almighty who I serve. I have God Almighty who I believe in. But I tell you today, your wish for me to go to prison, you will go to prison. You will see the inside of a prison before I ever do. I'm telling you this today. And I will never rise up from my knees until I see you come out and apologize for trying to fabricate a lie, for trying to intimidate me. Never. Go and ask, go and make your research on those people that have tried. Those people that have tried to destroy me. Go and ask. Go and ask. I live in England, not so. Extradite me to Gambia, Dawda Jallow. Extradite me. Put up an extradition request for me. You once told lawyer L.S. Kamara, I have it on record when he called me. When he told me exactly what your words are, that I should go to Gambia to fill the gaps on the prosecution's case. And I said to him, how stupid. What a stupid man. And I asked you the same question on the phone. I said to you, did you say I should come to Gambia to fill the gaps for your case? Because people told you that I had evidences contrary to what they said, so I should fill it up for you. Did you not say that to me? Or have you forgotten the things that you have said to me? Have you forgotten the things that you have said to me? When did you know I was a wanted man in Gambia? And now I'm going to read the presser. I'm going to read the presser. The presser reads, the Ministry of Justice has taken note of recent social media publications by Mr. Melville Roberts in which he alleges unfair treatment and persecution by the ministry. For the avoidance of doubt, the ministry wishes to clarify that Mr. Roberts has been the subject of multiple allegations. They didn't tell you 3, did they? They didn't say that, did they? Because they wanted. The ministry acting in defense of the minister wanted to paint a bleak picture of who I am. But this has fallen flat because I have produced the police report, including rape and indecent assault on females as reported by several complainants. Several complainers. This is what the Justice Ministry press release. But we all know it is a lie. It is a lie. It is Dawda Jallow because I have made a pledge that I will expose the corruptions of the Ministry of Justice. I will expose the corruptions of the Justice Minister. You have decided that you can intimidate me. No, I cannot be intimidated. There were times when I was silent, but it was out of respect and regard. Never out of fear. I continue to read. Following these complaints, the Gambia Police Force opened a criminal case file, concluded investigations, and forwarded the file to the ministry. Since the lodging of these complaints, Mr. Roberts has not returned to the Gambia. Since the lodging of these complaints, Mr. Roberts has not returned to the Gambia in a deliberate attempt to evade accountability. But you know, this is a blatant lie. Because not only did Mr. Roberts return to the Gambia after this complaint, Mr. Roberts made himself available to the minister, to the Inspector General, to the Office of the Inspector General of Police. Not only that, but Mr. Roberts was in the Gambia for 3 months. Not only that, but Mr. Roberts was not invited, but Mr. Roberts made himself available at the police station, and none of these girls ever set foot in that police station whilst Mr. Roberts was there. So a Ministry of Justice has issued a press release which is a lie, factually incorrect and a blatant lie, lying to the Gambian public. It tells you the type of minister that you have, it tells you the type of attorney general that you have, and it tells you the type of justice ministry that you have that will hide behind lies, that will use government resources to come out and make a blatant lie, trying to attack the credibility of an individual. He remains a fugitive. He remains a fugitive, sitting in London and cannot therefore... Oh my God. Can you imagine a justice ministry writing a press release? You know when you're talking Olof, dafa daw mutog Angleterre. Dafa daw mutog Angleterre. A fugitive sitting in London. What nonsense. A justice ministry, you cannot compose, you cannot structure a decent English to put out to your audience. A fugitive sitting in London. They translated it from Wolof. A fugitive, mugi tog Angleterre. So they're sitting in London. What a shame. If I was a justice minister today, I would have tendered my resignation that a press release of watered down ABC, my son Jaden would speak better English, compose better press releases at any point of the day. Any point of the day. Your subject-verb agreement is at loggerheads. Your sentence structure is appalling. Your diction is an absolute shame. An absolute shame. A fugitive sitting in London. A press release from the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General Chambers, being manned by no other than Dawda Jallow, the Attorney General. You release a press release where your English language is much to be desired, where your sentence structure is absolutely appalling. I continue. Let me deal with the word fugitive. Let the Justice Ministry, I have 6 correspondences. I have published 2 on my social media, where my lawyer, everyone in the Gambia knows that lawyer Malik Jallow, the son of the Chief Justice, has been representing me and is my lawyer. He has written to the Justice Ministry. So a fugitive is a person who you have told that I have a case against you, and then that person has decided to run. That is what a fugitive is. Can the Justice Ministry show any correspondence to my lawyer where they have asked me to appear before a court of competent jurisdiction? Can they show you any correspondence which they have sent to my lawyer for the intention to prosecute me? Can they show you any correspondence which they have sent to my lawyer where they have attributed that they have a case against me? Can they show you any correspondence where they have sent to my legal representatives where they have demonstrated an intention to prosecute me and that a case file has been prepared and that all they're waiting for is for me to step foot in the Gambia? Absolute lies they cannot show you because they are lying to their teeth. Absolute lie. Because you know you're lying to your teeth. Because this is an afterthought. It is something that you thought of today. To come out, to try to silence me. Because I have made a public challenge. To expose your corruption. To expose the injustice that you have meted against me. To expose the lies that you have continually told me. That is why that press release came about. That is why it came about. To try to taint my character. But it backfired against you. Because the Gambian public are no longer gullible. People are no longer stupid. People are no longer idiots. And people can read in between the lines. And that is why your timeline under the post is filled with comments challenging you and exposing your lies. You're a disgrace to the entire Gambian public. You write oppressor like a primary street kid trying to attack me. I'll go back and continue the press release. Since the lodging of this complaint, he never came to Gambia, which is a lie because I came to Gambia. I was there for 3 months. He remains a fugitive sitting in London and cannot therefore expect his file to process and close in his absence. The ministry wishes to make it known that a comprehensive case file, which is a lie. It is a lie because there is no case file. There's no evidence. Just Dawda Jallow himself told me the case file is empty. That all they have are the testimonies of the witnesses, of the alleged accused persons, which are incoherent, which are not backed by evidence, not circumstantial evidence, no corroborative evidence. So Dawda Jallow, you are lying again. The Ministry of Justice is telling a lie. Come out and show one evidence that you have against me. This is a blatant lie, and you know that. You know it is a lie. The entire Gambian public know it is a lie. The police officers who did the investigation know it is a lie. They know it is a lie because they know you are lying. They know the press is a lie. It went further. The Ministry of Justice remained steadfast in its duty to uphold the rule of law. You uphold the rule of law. You uphold the rule of law. You want to prosecute me? You say you're waiting for me to be prosecuted? Why are you not prosecuting Edward Singate? What was the TRRC recommendation? Why are you not prosecuting Edward Singate? Why did you not extradite Edward Singate? Because you shared chambers, because he was your friend, he was your best pal. He committed murder, allegedly. I did not. I did not. The junglers that are walking the streets of Gambia, that confess to committing atrocities, and confess to committing worse crime. Why did you not issue a press release on them? Why did you not waste your time and resources on them? They're still walking the streets of Gambia. Some of them have been rewarded with government position. You're ashamed. You're ashamed to attack me. How are you prosecuting Banta Keita? The only person who knows who Banta Keita is Gambia is Dawda Jallow. The only person who knows who Banta Keita is Dawda Jallow. No Gambian has ever seen Banta Keita. No Gambian has a picture that they would say they took with Gambian Banta Keita. Banta Keita has no cousin. Banta Keita has no boyfriends that he went to school with. Banta Keita had no VU that he used to go. Banta Keita had no brothers, no sisters. Dawda Jallow is prosecuting Banta Keita, wasting court resources. He's the only person that knows who Banta Keita is. That is what you should concentrate on. Because that is the greatest shame that is tainting the justice ministry. Not me. You cannot intimidate me. And I will continue to speak. And from today onwards, I make it my business to expose every art of corruption that is taking place in the justice ministry. I would look at the facts, I would look at the law, I would analyze it for the Gambian public to see and to know exactly what sort of a ministry we have. Who is Banta Keita? Tell the Gambian public who is Banta Keita. The man you're prosecuting. Tell the Gambian public what happened to 2 containers of cocaine, of drugs, that was intercepted at the courts, where a bill of lading was and should be in place, where there was a receiver and a sender. Was anybody ever prosecuted in the courts? You have thousands of cases to prosecute in the Gambian courts. You have so many people to prosecute. It is an absolute shame that you would come out with a lame presser just because I ask that justice be done in my name. And let me tell you something, Dawda Jallow. Justice will be done by hook or by crook, whether you like it or not. Because that position is not your inherent right. That position was not given to you by your father. That position is a state position. It's a position that is manned by the Gambian taxpayers' money. And one day you will leave it. If you don't leave it, it will leave you. You will not be there forever. You will not be there forever. And justice will be done. And no matter where you are, you will see justice being done. You will see justice being done. You have time to respond to me. It is only an incompetent ministry, an incompetent minister, an incompetent solicitor general that would oversee the press release of an entire justice ministry to attack one sole gentleman, Melville Roberts. This tells you how powerful of a voice I have. It tells you that I have a very powerful voice. A voice that will shake the foundations of the justice ministry. That would make you come out with a stupid, illogical presser. It tells you. And you know there's power in my voice. Because I have a brand of speaking truth. Regardless of who it is. That is the brand I have. I wake up every day in the morning to people sending me messages telling me, Mel, we saw this issue, we had this and this, we've not heard you speak about it, and we are waiting for you to speak on it for us to have an informed decision. That is the brand I have created. What is your brand? What is your brand? A brand of corruption? A brand of stealing public resources? Diverting public funds? A brand of using the law, circumventing the law, using the law for your own good, and that of your colleagues and that of your friends? Is that the brand that you boast of? That is not my brand. And I'm not scared. Like I said, what can you do to me, Dawda Jallow? The worst you can do to me is take me to remand, like they took all those young people to remand. The worst you can do is bring a frivolous case against me in the courts. You don't own the courts. Your father don't own the courts. The courts are a temple of justice where evidence will speak, where the law will be upheld. I'm not scared of you because you cannot do nothing to me. You can't do nothing to me. My destiny is not in your hands. You'll be here today. Tomorrow you'll be gone. Tomorrow you may not be there. It's a public office that you occupy. The police report is there. It's there for all to see. So whilst you try to taint my character with an idiotic presser, it has backfired. It has backfired. Because the overwhelming majority of Gambians stand by me. And they know the truth. And it is only the truth that will set them free. If you had a case against me, why didn't you come with a presser a month ago? Why didn't you come with a presser a year ago? Why didn't you come with a presser 2 years ago? Why did you only come with a presser when I demanded that you respect 2 court orders? One from an international court and one from the High Court in Gambia. Why didn't you? Why didn't you write to my lawyers? You've met my lawyer severally. He's spoken to you verbally. He's written to you. Why did you not say that you have a case against me and you're waiting for me to come? That a comprehensive file has been made. Dawda Jallow, that is a blatant lie, and you're lying, and you have lied to the Gambian public. And you know that. You know that. You know you have lied. You have blatantly lied. A comprehensive report. What are the evidences? Somebody came in 2019 to say that something happened in 2011. 8 years after, whilst I was in the Gambia, I didn't hold any position of authority. I didn't hold any position of power. There was no intimidation. They could have gone to any police station and make a report. What is the overwhelming evidence that you have? You're lying. And you know you're lying. And the Minister of Justice is lying. What you have are incoherent truths. Fabricated statements by individuals, which I have debunked with hard fact evidence. How can somebody rape you and you leave that person's house and you send that person a message and said, I had a good time. I have arrived home safely. How? How can somebody rape you and you send that person a message asking for an iPhone? The evidences are all here. In fact, I gave some to the police. Go and look at the police report. It is there. The police captured it in their reports. And tomorrow, I will do a separate write-up for Bafo Jen. Yes. I will do it. Because you know what happened? And I'm telling this, I'm putting the Justice Ministry on notice. I'm not an idiot. When I came to Gambia, when I wrote my statement, I took a picture of it. And I still have it on my phone today. And even if I'm attacked in the street and my phone is taken away from me, I have it in my cloud. And the people that are closest to me that I trust have access to it. And they will defend me even in death. Even in death. A person that came to claim that she was raped. A person that said, and I have the messages. In fact, I will put one of them on social media today for people to say, that said, yang don joy come moose. What fuckery, what nonsense. What nonsense. What nonsense. Because I demanded for my rights. You come out with such fuckery, such nonsense. Such blatant rubbish presser. You think you can attack me? Do you know who I am? Do you know the struggles I've been through? Do you know the pain, the obstacles I've surmounted in my life? know? Do you know the struggles I've been through? You think I'm a person that can be easily intimidated? Especially with lies and fabrications. You think so? You think that is what is going to silence me? You must be joking. You must be joking. You can't boast of anything, Dawda Jallow, except that you can take me, you can instruct the police to arrest me and take me to remand. That is all you can do. You can't do jack shit to me. I am not those idiots that you can intimidate. You can't do jack shit to me. That is all you can do. Take me to court where I will defend my position again and again and again and again. All you can do is take me to remand. That's all you can do. You can't do jack shit to me, Dawda Jallow, and you know that. You know that I know that you cannot do jack shit to me. Nothing you can do to me. Nothing. Not physically, not spiritually, not mentally, not emotionally. You cannot do nothing to me. And you know that, and I know that. Let me tell you something today that I've never said. The only reason why I have not yet returned to the Gambia is because I have business in this country that I'm taking care of. And the day I finish that business, not only will I travel to the Gambia, Dawda Jallow, I will put you on notice that I am coming to the Gambia and I'm waiting for you to arrest me. And I see if you're going to put me on your dinner table and chop me and eat me. What are you going to do? Take me to remand and then you take me to court. And then try to stall the case, to try to punish me. This is what the Justice Ministry does. You go to court and you ask for adjournment. You don't appear in court. And you allow the person to continue to languish. You use the justice delivery system to suppress and persecute people. That is what you do. That is what you are known for. There's nothing like diligent prosecution when it comes to the Justice Ministry. All you are known for is using the law, using the justice delivery system to suppress people. That is all you can do. That is all you can boast of. That is all you can boast of. But you and I both know. You and I both know. The day you and I are faced, and we have a situation where we stand face to face in a court of law, Dawda Jallow, you know. You have to prepare the best prosecutors that you have in that Justice Ministry. The best prosecutors that you have. You have to manufacture evidence from above. You know that more than anybody else. You cannot intimidate me. You cannot issue threats to me. They fall off my back like water. You cannot. I'm the last man standing that you would ever intimidate. The last man standing that you would ever intimidate, Dawda Jallow. I'm sorry, somebody's trying to join the Facebook Live, so I was just adding the person. I don't know who the person is. I can't even see that far. It says it's adding, but I don't know if it's going to add the person or not. I don't know if it's going to add the person or not, but it's... hold on a second. Yeah, it cannot add. I don't know whoever is trying to join the Facebook Live, but it's... it can't. Hold on. Yeah, I can't add the person. Omar, I've just sent you a message. I don't know if you want to join or I should just wrap up.
you make a press release.
Boss.
Dr. Omar Malmo.
Leila Kirboy. Nagala.
I can't hear you. Can I? Yeah.
I just got home, man. My boy, muy rough boy. I just got my hard head off.
I don't
I
know if
just
they
got
can
home.
hear you. I can't hear you.
I can hear you clearly, bro.
Huh?
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, but ask them if they can hear you because I can't hear you.
If somebody will be able to respond, they should be able to. I just got home, man. Just trying to settle down. Oh yeah, they're getting me clearly.
Oh, they said that they can hear you. Okay, go
Yeah,
on, go on. No problem.
yeah. I didn't get the whole of it, man. I was just rushing home, so I got bits and pieces of it. But looking at Solo here, it's not even about the person of
I
Melville.
don't know why I can't hear you.
My friend, get your other phone. Get your other phone, and then you can connect through that.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So for me, your person is not what is very much interesting to me. Manhamnala, we did a lot together. That's just beside the point. But the whole point is about what kind of a system do we have in our country? What kind of persons do we have running the affairs of our country? These are the most disgraceful, distasteful, and of course, incompetent personalities that are running our state affairs. And oftentimes, you can see the hate, you can feel in their messages, the kind of animosity, anger, and, unwarranted disgust they bear in them. The whole point becomes if the Attorney General and Minister of Justice felt the need to respond to what you've been saying, they are not even talking about the point you're raising. They are not even talking about the things that, let me say, the allegations you're putting on them, but all of a sudden they're jumping with things that do not make any sense. When has the Attorney General and Minister of Justice arrested anybody? That they're talking about, oh yeah, if you get to this country, you will get arrested. So you were in the country for three months. Why didn't they arrest you?
Exactly.
Right? Now the whole point becomes if you actually read through the police report. I don't even want to go into the details of all of that thing, but it tells a lot about the kind of institutions and the kind of personalities we have running these institutions. The Ministry of Justice is one of the most corrupt institutions in that country. Nobody's talking about it. This Minister of Justice, I have a personal encounter. I wouldn't get into that. He more toxic than any other person you would think about in that country. And there are times that would come that we will tell you about some cases that happened, including you, the Minister of Justice, who was working at that particular law chamber around traffic light in Bakau, and things that happened there. Boy, ñun Gambia lu bari lañ xam de. Lu bari lañ xam ci lu bari lañ duga ñun dañ I wouldn't say dañ dëgër boobu waaye xam nañ lu bari ci dëkk boobu noonu. So da ngaa def ndànka ñun ñoo la gën a dof da ngay dof lu dofuloo. Dawda is one of the most disgusting personalities you can find in that country. They pretend to be good people and they present themselves as, very innocent people, but they are one of the most evil people you can find in our country. They hate people for no good reason. Beside government position, who is Dawda?
Nothing. Nothing.
We're not here to ridicule people, but beside government position, put all of your positions aside and tell us, apart from the taxpayers' money that is actually taking care of some of your bills, who are these folks? Out of nothing, out of unwarranted disgust, they just kind of look at people and say, you know what, we will do what we want. But that includes Batambedu.
Arabic.
Look at their attitude. Look at the persons that we believe that these are high caliber people. They have good position. They are, of course, people respected in society. But they have the most disgusting attitudes in those societies. But put all of that aside. The Ministry of Justice. And the funny thing is, you go to that post, the few people that liked it are some of these small little lawyers that I know from UTG. Boy, you know. And I told you from long time, boy, you like hate out of nothing. It's the same people that will jump and go look for jobs in some of these government institutions and be jumping and say, oh yeah, do gonna figure without any substantiated claims. Imagine putting out that police report, and where does that place the Justice Ministry altogether? People go to people's house to get items that do not belong to them. That is stealing. That is theft.
It's theft. 7 years? 7 years?
Theft.
Boy, listen, let me tell you something. Let me give you a classic example. I took a case to the High Court. Let us assume that when I took that case, they still had my properties, what would have been the best defense? Bring it to court and say, hey, we have his properties, here it is, take it and go home. The case would have ended, not so?
Certainly, yes.
Okay, let's take it one step more. The court gave a judgment. They said they give you 14 days to hand over my properties to me, or you have to pay this amount. Within that 14 days, what should have happened? In any serious institution,
Certainly to return the items.
you return the items.
Yeah.
Boy, they stole it. They stole it. They stole it.
That's just it.
And Dawda Jallow told me, because you know what? The police told me that when they took the case file to the Ministry of Justice, they took all these things there. Whether that is true or not, me, I don't know. You understand? But when I spoke to Dawda Jallow, he told me that somebody, a staff in the ministry, confirmed that the police gave them these things.
So
it's been a year. Not only that, I went to court to get an enforcement order.
Yep.
So all I did was, and listen, I've been very patient. Me, let me tell you something. You know, I have most of the people working at the Justice Ministry. I know them. But you know what I did when this matter happened? I stayed back away from them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anybody to feel that I've put them in a funny position, or I'm using my friendship or knowing them to gain anything. So people that I used to hang out with and I used to roll with, I saw all the people liking these posts. These are idiots. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are people that growing up, they look at you and want to be like you.
Boy,
the jealousy did not start now.
When I went there and I looked, I was like, I know where all this bullshit.
Some of these people that I used to buy lunch for in school, some of these people that would beg me to put them in my car to drive along Caraba Avenue.
In my presence, right?
Yeah. So you think those people, those idiots, they bother me? They don't bother me. They don't bother me.
The whole point becomes...
These are people, some of them is only the Justice Ministry that made them do a plane Saturday. Gambia.
That's the only way they could actually get a proper job, actually.
That's the only way. So for me, I don't even bother. I make sure I don't even talk about them. I give them that respect. I allow them to do their thing. Me, I trusted Dawda Jallow. Let me tell you something. My lawyer is watching this live video. After I have paid him legal fees, I went back to him. I told him, I said, don't go to court. I have spoken to the Justice Minister, and he has assured me that this matter would be resolved. Ask him. Lawyer Malik Jallow is alive. Let any Gambian confront him and say, this is what Melville said on a Facebook Live. I told him. He said to me, no, let's go to court. I said, no, I've spoken to him. Just leave it. But this man will tell me today, oh, Mel, I'm going to the court. I'm going to National Assembly. Mel, I've given instructions. Oh, Mel, I have all his messages on my phone. Let him come out and say I'm lying.
He got to know that we also know that, you know, of course, this whatever state council he turned into a personal assistant and all that bullshit happening in that ministry. We know everything. Now, let's put that aside. That is his personal
the things I know about the Justice Ministry. By the time I finish, by the time I finish,
no, but
by the time I finish,
got to with this government. This government, we've got to a point when you cannot be running people's country like your father's property. When it comes to justice, you either deliver justice equitably or you fuck out of there. Because the whole point becomes now, with that praiser, what exactly are they trying to say? Now, if you tell me that, let's put it in context. You said somebody did something so heinous and so wrong, and of course you have all these people claiming that, oh, that is what happened. What is stopping them from going to court? What is stopping them from extraditing that person? What is stopping this case from, actually saying that, you know what, we are looking for this person and anywhere you see him, arrest him. And all of a sudden, after years, then he have the guts and the audacity to come out and write that kind of garbage saying, oh, you are responding to somebody who is telling you what the facts are. Why are they responding to you on points of law to say, dude, you said this and this and this, and this is why we are not doing this, and based on this reason and this reason, that's why we are not doing 1, 2, or 3. What's your problem? Why are you making all the noise over here? Why isn't he doing all that? But you can feel the animosity, the anger, the irritation that you've caused them. But the whole point becomes, if they are right, respond on points of law why you are not executing court orders. Why are you not
Thank you.
executing what the court asks you to do? Argue logically, because you are there to represent the people. This is not your father's property. This is the state of the Gambia. This is the ministry of, belonging to entire country. Respond on matters that relate to the allegation put on you on issues of the law. That you, of course, if a judgment is passed and you are supposed to execute it and you fail to do so, you, the custodian of the law, what exactly are you telling the people? Respond in that light. But you can see how much hate some of these, but these are, sometimes they've been the lindo, they can never actually
you know, a fugitive sitting in
know.
writing like a primary 2 school
Look
leaver.
at that nonsense. But that tells you how the
It was signed by the Solicitor General, I think, and other incompetent gentlemen. Me, you know what? The thing is, because me, that man, I never talk about him, sir. Let me just leave that man, sir. I won't talk about him because there's a reason I don't even talk about him. I just leave him. Like, I don't talk about him.
Incompetence cuts across. Look at the DPP that will go to court and openly lie against other people when you know that the Ministry of Justice that is to ensure that there is justice in our country and make sure that whatever somebody is alleged of, they're actually giving a free trial and of course very fair trial. These are the people that will come to court and lie. Just like they did to one of my homies who is still in prison. These people are not looking for justice. They have people that they harbor so much hate against, and they always have a way to go about. Why man like Lena Hamnago? Dof look avo ko ela tilimbalia na la kuma kalantam vo Facebook. Ngani go ngani ani lolu si man. Wa ma jahala wala boyla de. Ku dof lu ngani sa yabate yo si man. Atolo fon ñu mo kalantam wala fon be siari mo la banko kam batare ala drum.
And the irony of it all, boy, 6 years. 6 years going to 7 years, you cannot even come out. You cannot have the spine. You know how many times this guy would send me a message and tell me, oh, I have given instructions, or I have done this. You know when I made up my mind? You see me, I'm a very patient person. I made up my mind one day. I spoke to this guy, and he said to me, he looked at me in my face and he said to me, I have given instructions. I told them to close this matter. I don't know why they have not done so. And I looked at this guy and I said, you call yourself a justice minister, you call yourself an attorney general, you have an entire ministry under your belt, and you come out and you open your mouth and you tell me such garbage.
Yeah.
Telling me, you think me, I will give instructions to my staff to do something that is within the law. I'm not asking them to partake in an illegal act, and I will come back and tell the person I don't know why. What incompetence?
The disgust I got from this is when all this bullshit was happening. You came to the Gambia, you stayed in the Gambia for 3 months, and if they said, okay, this person did this particular crime, why didn't they go to court? Why didn't they actually? But the whole point tells about, of course, you're pointing out a lot of wrongs within the system and all the nonsense they are doing, and they felt the need to respond in anger and in so much hate.
Let me tell you what happened.
Without understanding that this is a state institution, it's not their
private business. Exactly. You're using a presser, a justice ministry presser, to attack me and try to silence me. Right? You do that.
People will come there and we will see what will happen. Buy a moment, Gambia. That is where we've got to with these folks.
Forget about this guy.
Don't own this country.
Why do I have this guy?
You can be writing all your nonsense, whatever, but people will debunk them. And of course, if you cannot argue on points of law that you are employed for, employing some of you is just the most wasteful thing that is happening in that country.
What they had to do is tell me that this guy, tell the Gambian people Melville is lying. There was no ECOWAS court judgment.
Exactly.
Tell them Melville is lying. There's no high court judgment.
Exactly.
Tell them that.
And if those judgments tell us the reason why you are actually not enforcing.
Tell me.
But of course, it's the same people that actually fired somebody from the military, telling that he was Salif Sajo's son. Up till date, they are not enforcing the court orders. No, this government does not. It's not just the Ministry of Justice, but this government is all built on lies and fabrication and deception. These folks are all the same. Somebody will call you from another level. No, they will see injustice and they will all shut up on it. Is the entire country guilty of it? People will see the truth and they will not want to talk about it because it did not touch their families.
Yeah.
People will see what is wrong and people are doing it every day and they will act as if they did not know. Yeah. Even your close associate will see and they will act as if they are blind to it. But that is who we are as a people in our country.
Listen, I'm watching.
Some of us don't shy away from that.
Oh, Omar, I've made a lot of posts. The people that have stood up for most, that have defended their rights most, that I came out publicly to stand by them. They make as if they don't see the post.
Right.
Some of them send me private messages to say that, oh, we are supporting. And I'm looking at the hypocrisy. I'm looking at the hypocrisy. Boy, you see me, huh? It's not a UDP person. It's not an NPP person. It's not President Barrow. It's not Lawyer Dabo. If I see an injustice, I say it.
Right.
I've stood by these people. I've defended them. I've put my life on the line for them.
Right. Right.
For them.
Yeah.
When the Ministry of Justice was under attack during the Bob Keita trial, do you know how many times Dawda Jallow would speak to me and ask me to come out and clarify issues so that the public can understand and know?
But just last week, you were talking about points of the law and defending the law in the country.
Exactly.
You could have decided to say, oh my, you know what, I'm going with
I could have. I had 7 years under my belt. I could have been totally bashing the ministry. I've never done that.
You know, you believe in what is right. So you don't need to
I've never done that.
Some of these idiots or sellouts. The whole point is let the truth just be the whole thing that we got to talk about. But the whole point is that there is no justice, there is no truth telling in that country. Because people will go to court and they will struggle and struggle and struggle because 1-2 idiots feel like they just got to defend their position by all means, by doing all the dirty things that anybody can imagine. But of course, you have court orders and court judgments that you fail to enforce, and you cannot argue on points of law, but coming out to actually attack a person and say all kind of fabricated lies against them that you know you can never do.
Did you see the comments? Did you see the comments on the Justice Ministry page?
I was one of those commentators there.
They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Look, if people who left that institution tell you how corrupt and incompetent some of those folks are, you'll be shocked. But anyway, you know better than I do. Justice is nothing that I got to deal with. This Hussein Obojang's case have taught me a lot about Gambia's judicial system, and not just the judiciary, but also the Ministry of Justice and the kind of manipulation.
Do you know why the Justice Minister gave an instruction for the case against Saina Mumbai to be withdrawn from the courts?
Exactly.
That these people don't make people talk.
I'm Gambia. Let
them not make people talk. Let them just shut up and do the right thing.
And
you cannot intimidate me.
In that case, a child died, and all of a sudden, the case was just thrown out based on what? Nothing. Everything they do is just fabrications and manipulations. And they don't want anybody to talk about it. This is the justice you people promise that, of course, it's a democratic dispensation. There will be justice and accountability. But you are the most injustice people that anybody can imagine. The most unjust people that you can ever encounter in this country. Very greedy and people that actually feed on lies and deception. All their mentality is about how to fill their pockets, and of course, all this rubbish that is happening. Nyata drug case no happen Gambia. Imagine all those things that were happening with all these, depots having to do with oil here and there. We know police officers, we know people who were actually handling some cases and got bribed, and they actually left the country and left some of those cases. They went to a point that big criminals were actually, let go simply because 1 or 2 persons are actually getting benefits from that. Now, what exactly is the citizen benefiting in terms of getting justice? Justice is more or less unattainable in the Gambia. The whole point is they will see the truth, they will fabricate and manipulate everything just to suit the regime or to suit their personal needs and their personal hate against people. Now, the people that jumped and say, Akide Moma Defli, I don't know. Can they go, okay, if the state does not want to go to court, they say, oh, this person, let them go to court themselves. I don't know, why are they all quiet? It's not even my point. I don't want to talk about some people that I really don't think they're worth a second of my time. But the whole point is, where is justice in this country? And then we've got to a point na could joke muna na okay li man mako feke luñ la fekel nak du nañ ci téla wax nak wa bi fola aga de am na koto yo xamantene luñ len xamal if we are going to say it, things would definitely go out of the bound, and that includes this justice minister. Man, I don't get into people's personal whatever thing. Wa koto yi ni boy am na lu bari luñ jankuantel. We know a lot that is happening in the country. We've seen a lot.
Some of these people, they have personal assistant that they're traveling with on state resources. With state resources, under disguise of attending meetings and workshops and what you name it. Boy, you see me, huh? I'm not a person. I don't quick. I'm not quick to speak, huh? But when I finish putting the evidence down for the general public to see, we will know among the two of us who's who. Think me, I can be intimidated.
the Gambia has got to a point that we got to tell the truth to each other, because the whole point is that, you know, I would not work, because the whole point becomes, what exactly is it? From this case to another, you actually look at everything, you realize that there is really no justice that is happening in that country. This justice minister, for whatever reason, is one of the most incompetent persons to actually lead that institution. All they do is to actually bring all this little, you know, sambambo, and what they're doing, everybody knows. Beyond corruption, we know what these folks are doing. Now, in terms of justice delivery, we know how these people don't care about justice. All they care about is their own pockets and, you know, trying to, you know, dilly-dally everybody. Whenever they are in trouble, they run to you. Oh, can you help do this? And then, you know, speak about this, let the people listen in this way or that way. But they will never actually deliver justice.
Never.
Before Hamandana, you see somebody who is like director of public prosecution coming to court to lie. That tells enough about the regime. That the entire regime could even tell us that, of course, just days ago, they got somebody in Bruford or whatever with a gun. They took photos of the gun and put it everywhere. How comes they pick all your items in your house and they never took photos of that and show people?
Never.
They never. But do you realize that the police, every item they get from people, they take photos of that and, of course, present it on their Facebook page? All the materials they stole from your house, they never presented them. The gun that they said killed the cops, they never presented it.
Never.
And as if they went to you know, superficial universities that people don't know what is happening in the country, as if we don't have brains to think that you can go to somebody's house and what has my allegation, if somebody said, oh, I actually flogged their daughter, what has that got to do with you stealing items in my house?
Exactly.
If you don't meet me in my house,
even if I'm
items in my house.
If I'm convicted of murder, that judgment will still be upheld.
Right?
Whether Dawda Jallow, Mulaiko, or what a lie could call, that judgment will still be upheld. I'm telling you, even not in my lifetime. Kid, if I'm duff.
It's like you said I did something wrong, and then you come to my house and you pick my daughter's shoes. What has it got to do with you? What has it got to do with me? You
think if Dawda Jallow was not a state minister, me, I will stand in the streets of Gambia and Dawda Jallow opens his mouth to tell me nonsense.
You know, sometimes you say that people
using your office to try to intimidate me. Me, I didn't do nothing. All I said was things that were in the public domain. All I said were things that were in the public domain. I am asking you to do the rightful thing. That's what I'm asking. You don't confront my truth with threats and intimidation of prosecution that you didn't do for 7 years. Talking nonsense about, oh, he's not in the country, I'm evading justice. Do you know what I'm doing? What will I be doing in Gambia?
But you know, now that tells you one thing. I'm the Pakoini. What they do is, they know even if a case like that will never convict you, but because they framed it in a way that they will say, okay, you know what, go and actually put him on remand, and then of course we prolong the case.
What it is.
That
is what it is.
Let's prolong the case for 2-3 years.
Listen, I told him.
A very decent life. So go away for the first one. At the end of the day, we just leave him to go. But that is their intent. Boy, it's not about bringing justice, but it's about.
I told Dawda Jallow to his face. I said to him, you know, as a justice minister, I said to him, you know, as a true Muslim, that you've got nothing against me. This is what I told him.
Right.
I said to him, the only thing you can do is to use the justice delivery system to persecute me.
Right.
That's the only thing you can do. But I told him to his face. I said, you know this more than anybody else.
But look at.
But let me tell you something. You see, let me tell you something, Omar. Me. I can survive remand. Why Justice Dawda Jallow will be the one that will get to remand and won't survive it. Mark my words. This is a public statement.
It tells a lot about our justice delivery system. It's the same thing with this guy who was talking about Barrow, even though I don't agree with him a lot.
Look at
Usain put there. Just to put him in prison, they said, oh yeah, he burned down the APRC bureau. But who were rejoicing the burning of that APRC bureau? What exactly has that? But because they know that kind of, if they put that charge on him, they will put him on remand. And that's exactly what they wanted.
Look at Usain Uboya.
Yeah.
Right? If that guy comes out and the court decides that he did not kill those cops, he's been in jail for over a year.
2 years and 3 days.
2 years and 3 days.
Yeah.
That is what people in the justice ministry use. Lulu rekla guy am.
Yeah.
They don't have fuck all. Nothing. I'm telling you.
But
They
you know
don't have shit.
they did this to Omar
The
Sajo.
only thing that the justice ministry has at their disposal is abusing the justice system to put people in remand and intimidate them and drag the cases in the courts for years.
Right.
Apart from that, they don't have shit. Nothing. I'm telling you, they don't have nothing.
That's exactly what they did to Omar Sajo. Called him son of Salim Sajo, detained him, you know, for several months and did all kind of shit to him. And then turn around and say, oh no, he's not Salif Sajo's son. But they refused to actually even honor the court orders. You know, they refused to get the guy back into They refused to get the guy back into the army, and they refused to do whatever the court has asked them to do. And that is the government of the Gambia. And they will come to the National Assembly and lie. And these are the people compensated with positions in the country. And these are the folks that want to continue to rule us, the likes of Dawda Jallow, who would come out with so much anger and animosity to write a praise that doesn't make any sense. And at the end of the day, you look at the persons that write that, and then you see the name that is put in there, the Solicitor General of the Republic of the Gambia, Ruslu Nade. Therefore, over our Ruslu, we've actually lowered the bar so low. The level of incompetence in that country is beyond measurable. That folks either is out of incompetence or out of utter wickedness and greed, or they just do things out of manlan system. This is what you should expect. Nothing better. I really don't know what you want, honestly.
Aisha. But anyways, me now, like I said, I'm taking my time. And now what I'm gonna do, man, systematically, I will put my case before the Gambian public. I've put the police report, it's there. Let Dawda Jallow come out, let the Justice Ministry come out and say, or the police report that Melville published is a lie. It's a false police report. Let them come out and say that. Spineless ministry trying to fabricate lies. Come out and dispel.
You know, when the Usain case started, people started saying, no, it's a matter before the court. I was like, man, if you come to me with that, I was like, you know what? Keep your hypocrisy to yourself. This is a public domain case, and I know this government is very complicit in it, and they are not up to justice, and they will come and lie again. I will make sure that the population is educated enough about this case, and people will know. And the court of the public opinion is what matters. And people know. Look at that, praise that they put out there. Everybody's vilifying them, and of course, castigate if they
because people know the truth. People know the truth.
They will not actually maintain that post. But
people know the truth. Hi, people know the truth. People know the truth. You cannot continue to suppress an enlightened nation or populace. People are learning. This is not the Stone Age. People have power of reasoning. You cannot continue to fuck up the minds of people. People have the power and ability to think and reason, and they're going to do just that. You don't have to like me. You don't even have to subscribe to what I do, but just do the truth. Just stick to the facts. Just do justice. Do justice.
That's what they're employed for. They don't need to know you. They don't need to care about you. They don't need to like you. But they just make sure that there is equitable justice for everybody.
Me, have I ever asked Dawda Jallow, have I ever called him and begged him for anything? Have I ever called him and begged him for favors?
And before Dawda was there, did anybody talk about Dawda? But you cannot take public positions and you want to tell that the institution will not be questioned. And then you take it so personal as if it is your biological inheritance. That
and let me tell you something.
So
I've said this thing and I'm saying it again, and I'm going to say it publicly. And I'll write it tomorrow. The only reason why I have never supported the Barrow government is because of the Ministry of Justice. Because it is a justice ministry that is filled up with people that... Anyways, it's just too much.
That's enough of a rant, man. We still got a whole lot to talk about tomorrow. So
tomorrow is Thursday. So
tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Thursday.
But to sum it all up, what is important is that everything you put out there clearly and evidently exists, and the ministry cannot refute anything.
You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow?
And they decided to just come out.
There's this particular lady called Bafo Jeng. You know what she did not know? When I came to Gambia and I made my statement to the police, I took a picture of it, of what I said. She did a legal opinion. Let me tell you what is a legal opinion. Because the police, the Ministry of Justice do not have investigatory powers. They cannot investigate shit.
Yep.
It is the police that investigates. It is the police that go and look for the evidence. It is the police that compile the evidence. It is the police that compile an investigation report and they forward it to the Ministry of Justice. Now, when the case file is forwarded to the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Justice now looks at the report of the police. They look at the evidence and they look at the law. Are you getting me?
Sure, certainly.
So they look at the evidence, which must have been gathered by the police. Then they look at the report, which has been compiled by the police. And there the Ministry of Justice will now look at the law and try to apply the facts established in the report vis-a-vis the law to come up with a solid legal opinion. But what people don't know is that you cannot fabricate a legal opinion.
Yeah.
Because you can only stick to the facts, and you can only stick to the law, and you can only stick to the evidences. Okay? Now, when Bafojeng did the legal opinion, because she called herself an activist, did the legal opinion, she then went on to say that I admitted, listen to what I'm saying, that I, Melville, me, with my brains, with my intelligence, listen to what this girl, this lying girl said, this lying, pathological, pathetic human being by the name of Bafojeng, and I will publish the report, went on to say that I, Melville, that I admitted that I said that, yes, I had sex with this girl. Listen to that. But when I look at my statement, because I have it on my phone, I never said that. So for me, I look at these people because they're idiots. Because if you go into a court of law with such a legal opinion that is so baseless and based on lies, fabricated lies, distorting the facts, you know I am not stupid enough to stay mute or dumb in a court of law. They know that. And I am challenging them to go back and look at it. Go back and look at the fact.
Why aren't they going to court, actually?
These people are idiots, don't mind them.
I don't even wish for my hamanteg news about am luma yo.
They think I'm a fool. You know, they think I am a fool. I'm an idiot. You know, it's like you know, giving a carrot and stick, telling me today, tomorrow, oh no, don't worry, or this, that, and that. Like I'm a fool, like I'm an idiot. Whilst they continue to live their lives, they continue to do their stuff. I should sit here, continue to put my hope and trust in them. I don't believe in that. That's why I went to court. Do you know how much how much I paid for the ECOWAS court or to court matter?
And they still refuse to respect the court decision?
They didn't respect, no. They've refused blatantly. And this is the same man. This is the same man that went to the National Assembly to talk about compliance of international court orders. It's a blatant lie. I sat there and I watched him lie to the Gambian people, Gambian public. I didn't say anything. He's a liar.
Let me just publicly say it. As matters related to Sinubojang's case, we got to the end of that. These people did nothing. We will take them to ECOWAS court. Look for gain and doing go implement Gambia, huh? Well, then I'm over here because the likes of DIG, so the likes of that Babu Jeng, and all those folks that were lying against this dude. Hey, why Gambia they will not see peace. Yalla hamna lolu ne kom, those folks will not see peace. That you can frame and lie like the likes of Mama Jabi or whatever. Kon duñ dekat Gambia. Lui hew rek moy hew. Ba gis nga dekk bi injustice breeds animosity, and then we will get to a point where we marala mudala because Bazara ya mota sonna wala na banko kam. Well, these idiots cannot just come from nowhere. Nobody's just get a government position. You think you can impose a lot of hate and animosity on people out of nothing? That you can actually just come and then put a lot of pain on people just out of your will and then go scot-free, that even court orders cannot be respected. You allege that a young man was, whatever, Salif Sajo's son, You could not prove it. The court have made decisions. You failed to implement it. A Gambian like yourself, if that was Dawda's son, if that was Barrow's son, if that was another person among this minister's child, will they do that to that young man? Again, these are the same people that turn around and say Hussein Obojan killed the cop just to say he was working at Brikama Area Council, that he admitted to killing here and there, that they recovered part of the money he was paid. All fabricated, and that was the script sent to the Ministry of Justice to prosecute this person. What kind of lawyers do we have? What kind of legal opinions do these people give? All fabricated. They are all mercenaries of the regime to do evil. The same people, after going to court and then you got all your cases right, they will not respect those things, and they expect that they were going to run our country that way, and then kenn du si muna wax dara. Ñom lu len neex rek ñom ñu loolu la ñoy def melni sen baye ñoo doon Gambia, melni sen baye ñoo taxawal dëkk bi, melni ñom Gambia is their biological inheritance. We will get to a point with you me ñoo marala mutala wala toñay batara sabati mo la banko kan. Man, I'm getting so upset, man. Before I say something,
let's just leave it. So tomorrow 8 p.m. Gambian time, myself and Dr. Omar Malmo will be on. We'll continue to do our thing, but I have made a pledge that I will continue to expose Dawda Jallow on the Minister of Justice, no intimidation can stop me. No threat.
I only hope they don't start calling you, boy, your father. I'm not your mom. You are everybody's person. One thing I know is nobody will call me to tell me don't talk about who killed the cops, because Lumala Wahdoma call that. But because the few that did, I'll ask them, if that was your biological brother, would you tell me that nonsense? That somebody I know and grow up with, and I know he's not a rebel, that the regime can say all these kind of lies because of your political interest. You want me to shut up? Do you pay my bills? Do you know how I got to this level? You see me with my grown teeth, you think you can break them? I speak my mind without any fear of contradiction, and whatever I got from that, man, and if it is to go to jail, who cares about that? The whole point is that the system is built on criminal doings, and this system got to crumble because these folks there are not actually, there to do justice. They are the most evil people that you can ever imagine. That a government, that a whole regime's criminal justice system can be actually, controlled by few criminals themselves. How many drugs are actually in that country? How many fabrications have they created, personnel that we don't even know where they existed? But the same people will be alleged of being involved in some of those big scandals. The same people will go and do deals with these criminals and then come out as if they are the ones that are actually, giving us justice. But that tells you a lot. Look at people. You don't jai fini. I nag 5,000. I domi haram. They are people of justice. People who will go and imagine somebody's name would be Ahmed, Ahmadu, Ahmed, the same person. And these are the people that are telling us that, oh yeah, we are Sirif division, we are this division, we are that division, we all work under justice. Yen fandang hame justice. Yen I such a katingen. You people are just ordinary day-to-day thieves. Sometimes you look at some people yesterday that you see them grow and then you wonder, they said, you're going to tell me what justice is? These are the people that are actually there out there saying that they are delivering justice. Why not? Is an office in that they could change state councils into their personal assistants and be traveling around the world and doing all kind of nonsense and never want anybody to talk about it. They can be abusing junior lawyers even when they were actually working in other chambers, and they don't look. This government is good for nothing. The people that work in it are good for nothing. Most of the people that are in it are just criminals. The few good ones, they will even fight so that those people can get out of it, so that they can continue their criminal doing. Just like the president actually made some reshuffling today. Do you know that the internal auditor they now made, how do you call it? Auditor General lives just next door. Like I'm just pointing right there, next door in my building. So when Sankare comes to New York, he stays in that guy's house. It's their close cabal. This guy will never audit these folks because he's one of them. Gambia dafa aga for Hamantane Legi boy. And the people that they pick, imagine you remove the Auditor General and make him minister. Do you think that person was ever going to do something that is going to actually bring about real auditing, process in the Gambia? They made that the minister, and of course internal audit ko Hamantane filan ko ñew jeli su ñewé sen meeting ni filan jey deka. Omota Sangare when he comes here, I was always sitting in my window to see if he comes down. He never came down the whole time he's been here. Some of them will not even go to the meetings, They stay right up here and then buru ataya fofu no week bu jehe ñu way jël sen bag yi dem sen
I know.
That I would sit here and be looking that Bena de do not gis ki mu wata ci suuf I will go because nga duma dem sen neeg manako koto yow ya wana sama boy bi mo ray police. But then I would not meet I'd never met this guy in the streets and we are just like opposite. Suma toge fini I'm just looking at the door. That is the person they picked from here, Yobuko Defco internal audit, and all of a sudden now they made reshuffling because UDP's whatever thing is happening today and people will not pay attention to that so they can quickly do their dubious acts and then move on. And this is where, because they know that their crimes and of course financial embezzlements are always coming to light. They have to put people there in auditing, offices that will never expose some of those. And that includes all of their, surrogates and people that will do any dirty job for them. And that's exactly what they did today with their reshuffling. The longer this government stays, the more the Gambia suffers. Because the incompetence is gross, the manipulations, criminality, theft is unimaginable. At every sphere of governance. Justice is the worst that you can imagine, not even just theft of public properties, and of course the deliberate negligence of what exactly a rule of law is, and of course the execution of justice in our country. But then they will look at the like minds and the folks that they think they admire at their level when they were nothing. Then now hold hamga nyela buga neka yo elek new ampolas bunda bayama dem here ko.
They're idiots. Me, I don't even look at those people, sir. I don't dignify them, sir. Stupid idiots.
No, if you come to Gambia, we'll arrest you.
Just little rats. I don't even look at them. These are idiots.
Nguur gi day daanu nguur gi dafa taxawul ci dara dudul sàcc alali mbolo sàcc alali réew mi and then make sure that they do no justice to people and they expect to continue to lead this country. This government is the worst that have ever existed in this country. Not about public sector corruption and theft of public good, but of course even employing the most incompetent people because of connections. Including State House and other places that would just jump in. Oh, we are here for a meeting. We are here for a meeting. Don't have one meeting lunch with you. Send why yo boy. Boy. We've seen positions being this out to people and we know what the fuck is going on. Anyway, it is what it is, man. So
yeah, so we'll be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, take care, yeah?
Okay, man, bro.
All right, thanks everyone. Yeah, so that was just me trying to set the record straight with regards to the press release from the stupid, incompetent Justice Minister and by extension, Justice Ministry. But then tomorrow we'll be on live at 8 o'clock, myself and Omar Sambo, and I will continue unabated. I will continue to expose the Justice Minister, to expose the Justice Ministry by extension, and I will continue to demand for my rights to be upheld. No intimidation whatsoever can stop me. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I've seen over 10,000 people have been viewing this video because, of course, I'm looking at on my other phone, and that goes to show that Gambians are not gullible and Gambians are not stupid and Gambians are not idiots. You cannot whitewash people with an idiotic presser. Never. Those times are gone. They're gone. Address the heart of the issue. Address the heart of the come out. You said several women, come out, list them, the accused person, tell the Gambians who they are and how many of them. Stupid, idiotic people. Have a good day.